Welcome to Influential Sports, where passion meets precision. As I'm your host, Ed, diving deep into the plays, players, and stories shaping the game. And today, in today's video, do something a little different. One criticism on some of my favorite athletes. If y'all want a part 2 or 3 of this, let me know. But I'm gonna just got one golfer, 2 football players, 3 wrestlers, 2 WNBA players, and 2 baseball players. We'll go down the list. I got 10 people. And for this video, if y'all want me to do the opposite as well, let me know. I'll do giving one compliment to some of my least favorite athletes. I could do that video as well. But starting off first with a golfer in the Live Golf League, Joaquin Niemann. I think my one criticism with Joaquin Niemann is he gets off the slow starts, which ends up costing him in the games and tournaments that he's in. Because I think he won one tournament in the Live Golf League this year, one or two, and he had multiple top 5 finishes. And he also had some bottom finishes where he got off to a slow start, didn't have the best swinging that day, and just some of that just ended up costing him late into the game where he's playing from behind now, and it's hard for him to catch up. So that's my one criticism with Joaquin Niemann, and that's with him playing golf, he can't get off to those slow starts. You got to be ready, and you got to get off to a high start swinging wise. Number 2 for the NFL, Jalen Hurts, who is the starting quarterback of my favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles. I would say with Jalen Hurts, just following every play call, because some of the play calls that Kevin Paluto calls, you don't need to follow everything. He can change it up. He's smart enough to recognize what the defense is doing and be able to change some of those plays. So I think we might not have 2 losses on the season. We could still be undefeated if one of those games we got blowed out by the Giants, but we could have had one less loss and been even higher up in playoff positioning. Right now, obviously, it's almost halfway through the season, and we're having a pretty good season. Only 2 losses. But it'd be nice to be a bit higher than 3 and have a better chance of getting home field once again in the playoffs, being able to get a bye, which we didn't get last year because the Lions were able to get it. But some of the play, because every play call isn't perfect, every pass isn't perfect. But I think Jalen Hurts, he's a smart enough quarterback and been in the league long enough. He just won Super Bowl MVP. So you don't have to follow every play call. You can change it up sometimes if you recognize that the defense is doing this and you know that your offense can't make a certain move happen. Number 3 for the NFL, once again, I'm going to go with Bryce Young, one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league. And he's improved a lot this year. He's improved this year from his previous few seasons, and I've liked what I've seen. I think sometimes he still rushes some of his passes, some of his throws. He still rushes some of those. So I think that could be a slight improvement on that, because you don't have to rush every throw. Sometimes you just got to get rid of the ball, because sometimes when he rushes your throw, that could lead to an interception, which he has done a good job these last few weeks limiting turnovers. So I just think I want to see more improvement of that, not rushing his throws as much, and Bryce can really improve. And I think this team can lead the Panthers. If he's healthy, of course, he could lead them to the 7th seed in the playoffs, maybe even be one game out of it. And I think it's just building blocks that the Panthers can build up on for these next few years under Bryce Young. And he's proven that he can be the quarterback, because it's not about having the most passing yards or being the best dual threat. It's about limited turnovers, making the right plays, winning your team games. And he's been able to do that, but he doesn't have to rush as many of his throws as he does. For the WWE, this is my 4th one. Alexa Bliss, her character has been the same for the past 3 to 4 years, I feel like, and RP to Bray Wyatt, because I know it's a tribute to him. But at the end of the day, she still needs a new character, because she's playing the same character from the Wyatts when she had that story, but she's doing this with Charlotte and the tag team that don't really make sense, and they're trying to pretend like they're friends. But Alexa Bliss, her character a few years ago, she wouldn't be friends with anybody. So her having that same character, having that stigma, that same character, it's not working out with this storyline with Charlotte. They're a good tag team. They're having good matches. They're telling some good stories too. But the character, she just needs a different character now. Like, this character is ran still, and she's had it for way too long. There's certain characters that can last a certain time. They can last a while. But for somebody like Alexa Bliss, who's constantly not like switching it like every other year, but she's consistently changing it like every few years. It's time for a change now. Like, you had the Goddess, and then she was that for a few years, and then she went into the Wyatt era. So we need a new transition into something else other than this Fiend character with the doll and stuff like that. Number 5, once again, WWE. I'm gonna go with the Street Profits. I feel like they've had a really good year as a tag team, in my opinion. But one criticism for the Street Profits, I feel like they're a bit too goofy at times. I think they can dial it back a little bit when it comes to their goofiness. Like, they are funny guys. They do good tag team work. The promos have improved, and I really like what I've seen from Angelo Dawkins since they'll come back. That's not to discredit Montez, because Montez Sports did a good job as well. Like, they do a good job playing off each other, and that also plays into that goofiness. Like, they can tone that down a little bit so we can take them more serious if they go into a singles role. Like, even them teasing a split, like, I can't buy them teasing a split because you didn't win tag team gold for 4 years with each other. So now that you can't win it in 2 tries, you want to split up. Like, that don't make sense to me, and that goes into booking. But as far as the Street Profits, I think they could tone down the goofiness just a little bit. Like, it's not a lot, but especially Montez Ford, he could calm it down a little bit, and I could see Montez and Dawkins getting singles pushes in the future. But that's what they tone down the goofiness a bit, because even like them splitting right now wouldn't make sense in my opinion. Number 6 for the now moving to the WNBA, Paige Beckers. I think my favorite team is the Dallas Wings. For people that don't know, Paige Beckers had a great rookie season, won Rookie of the Year. I was very happy about that. I just think one criticism is that her defense is lackluster, and I think if she can work on that in the off season and become an improved defender, that's going to help us out a lot. And there's plenty of other problems that the Dallas Wings had, so I'm not just putting that all on Paige's defense. But I think that can improve a little bit. We'll be in position to win some more games. And obviously, it's other stuff that has to happen because it's not just one person on the basketball team. But I think just for Paige in general, like, she can improve defensively going into next season. That'll make her a lot better, and it'll make her unstoppable because she's scoring, and she's giving you great playmaking on the offensive end of the ball. And then if she's getting stops, it's going to be really hard to stop Paige if she's doing it all offensively and defensively, making it harder for our opponents to score on her. So that's my one criticism for Paige. Sticking with the WNBA for the 7th person on my list, Angel Reese. Angel Reese is great. I think one area she needs to improve on is her free throw percentage, and she did do that in the all season. She worked on her free throws and got better. I think let me check her average, so I'm not giving false information. But I think Angel Reese, she's improved from last year to this past season. But I'm going to pull up her free throw percentage because I think it can still improve because her free throw percentage last year was 73%. It was 75% this past season. If she can get that up to 80, then she'll average a few more points. She can get that up to 80% and make 8 out of every 10 free throws that she shoots. I think that'd be great. Like I said, it rise from last year to this season. So I just want to see her take that step because that'll separate her from being good to great. Because or great to elite, because she's a great player right now, and there's certain stuff that she can improve on to become even better. And I think if she improves that free throw percentage and it went from 73 last season to 75 this season, right, and work on it again in the off season, raise it to 80%, and then she's gonna be unstoppable. And I think like 3-point percentage, that won't really matter. But the field goal percentage, that's improving, and I expect that to improve. But free throws are really important. When she's getting to the line 5 times a game, and maybe even she gets to the line a few more times, maybe she gets there 7 times a game next season, whether she's in Chicago or with a new team, it'll be great to see that free throw percentage improve and her become 80% free throw shooter in her 3rd season. For the 8th person on my list, Julio Rodriguez, who's star Mariners player, led them to the American League Championship Series. But in that series, he did not play great. He had a bad American League Championship Series, and Julio is one of my favorite. He's my favorite player in the MLB. I think he could have played a lot better and won them that series. Like, it's not just him; it's a team sport at the end of the day. But I think if he plays a little bit better, they can win that series in 6. Like, they were up 2-0. Like, they should have been able to win that series. And 2-0 isn't a crazy league because we've seen 2-0 comebacks plenty of times in hockey, baseball, basketball. We're seeing it all the time, but it would be nice if they can close out that series when you're up 2-0, and if that can be led by Julio Rodriguez, just having a better series. Because aside from that, like in the previous rounds, he played great, but just that championship series could have played better. Could have and should have played better. Number 9, another MLB player, Nolan Arenado, who's on my favorite team, the St. Louis Cardinals. I just think he stayed with us too long. put himself into a hole to where now it's impossible for him to get out through a trade. So I think, and that's more of like a business criticism. When you realize that the team is going nowhere, like you want to be loyal to the franchise. That's understandable, but it's not like he had any drama or controversy. So if he would have left, it's not like Cardinals fans or the Cardinals organization would have been upset with him. It just would have made more sense because while we're a team that can make the playoffs well, or be competitive and fight for a playoff spot, we're not going nowhere because we've seen that a few years ago when we were in the playoffs and lost early on in the wild card. So it's like this team is clearly not going nowhere and we need to go in a younger direction. So when he had the chance to leave, he just should have left instead of staying and trying to be loyal because you don't have to stay loyal. At the end of the day, you want to win a ring. So do what you can to do that. But the Cardinals is not the place to do that. And he knows that. But it just came down to him being loyal. You don't have to be, if you leave on good terms, then that won't really matter. And then for the 10th and last person on my list for one criticism about my favorite athletes, I have Darby Allin from AEW, so another wrestler. I like Darby Allin. I think a lot of the bumps he takes are unnecessary. Not all of them, but some. I won't say a lot, but it's just certain bumps that I feel like are just unnecessary for him to take. It's just egregiously dangerous that he shouldn't be doing. And like if he was really done when he does it, and it's like this could seriously end your career. Like you get thrown on the glass and you agreeing to Jack Perry throwing you on the real glass. Like they could really fuck you up for the rest of your life. Like some the skewers in your fingernail with John Moxley, and it's stuff that they had to agree on. It's not like Moxley can just do that off script. Like there are some wrestlers that go off script, not like that. Like him and Moxley had to agree on that. Like he's sacrificing himself for the industry, so that's cool. But certain bumps, certain spots you don't need to take, and that's my one criticism for Darby Allin. If he can tone that down, like he's gonna be a world champion. But I think what's gonna make him an even better wrestler, and people are gonna get behind him more, is if he tones down some of that craziness. Like some of it is unnecessary. Like if he tones that down just a little bit, like I think more people will start rocking with him. But that concludes it for this video. One criticism for some of my favorite athletes. I just picked 10. I might do a part 2 of this. I might do a part 3 even, because I like more than 10 different athletes. I watch plenty of sports. Maybe it's something I do once a month. Who knows? But let me know what y'all think of this video. Leave a like on it. Subscribe to the channel. Comment y'all thoughts. What y'all think about the criticism I have for each athlete, or if it's athletes that you have criticism for. Let me know and share for others to see, because this was a fun video, but this was also an uncomfortable conversation. But these are conversations that we had to have because we had to be objective. But peace out.